Hey everyone, it's Jason, and today I'm going to show you my latest project. Some out there might call this an ASO, an anvil shaped object, but I'm just going to call it my anvil. I figured over the centuries people have created anvils using whatever means necessary or whatever means they had available to them, and these are the means that are available to me, so it is what it is, right? So let's get started. So I begin by using the torch. I start by carving out the horn. The goal here is to remove all the excess metal, which will help me get the basic shape. As you can see on the back end, I'm removing an 8-inch section from the top rail down to the base. I'm basically cutting that flush with the bottom pad. So then what I do is I cut a separate piece of track that is 8 inches across, and this piece will actually sit inverted where I remove the other section. And the purpose of this piece will be to provide an extra surface for striking, which is larger than the top rail. Then I basically continue around with the torch, removing more of the marked out sections. Here I'm cutting out the base and the vertical section below the horn. Removing this section will allow the horn to protrude forward. At this point, I take some time with the grinder to remove some of the grooves left by the torch. Also, I use a cutoff wheel to remove the underside of the horn. Then it's back on the torch to shape some more of the base. And once these are cut, I can do some more shaping with the grinder. I decided to drill a couple holes through the base, which sit directly under the inverted piece, and you'll see why in a moment. I used the grinder to square up the mating surface between the inverted piece and the base. This will give me about an inch shoulder from the top face. I grind a bevel where the horizontal portion meets, and since I'm actually going to weld these pieces together, and once everything is aligned, I preheat the weld joint to help keep it from cracking. I run a short pass, and then I tack the bottom. Now, because of the type of metal, the process I use for all the welds here is done a small section at a time. It's a process of preheating each of the weld joints just prior to each welding pass. Also allowing some cooling time in between so it doesn't actually overheat during welding. Working different sections through the process helps dissipate some of the heat also. This process takes some time and patience, but I really don't want the welds to start cracking, especially when I start smacking on it with a hammer. So. You can see the permanent weld with the preheat versus the cold tack weld. You can see the piece just popped right out. So once the welding is done, I take a wire wheel over the entire thing, cleaning up all the weld slag, including the faces. I also use the grinder again to add some more shape to the top edge of the horn. Now, since I don't want any issue with rust between the two pieces that I welded, I used the holes that I drilled to add some sealant. Hopefully this fills any voids where moisture might infiltrate. I was going to use varnish like they do windings, but I didn't have any available, so I went with that. So here it is, pretty much finished. I may polish some of the faces up some more, but I think I'm ready to mount this to a stump, so which I plan to show you in another video soon.
Alright, so there it is. Now this thing weighs out at about 53 pounds, and so when I do the calculations, like the whole 40-to-1 thing, I can use a 21-ounce hammer. That's to maximize it. This is 20, so this would be probably the go-to hammer for this guy. So anyways, I'm not sure what I got in store for this, but I'll keep you posted on projects I end up hammering out on it. So it was fun to do, and hope you guys enjoyed it. And all right, thanks again for watching.